Welcome to the 51st Kansas City Symphony Designers Showhouse. My name is Mitch Weber. I will be your virtual tour guide of this charming home in historic Hyde Park, built in 1909.
Our designers have worked for months on this project. Our Showhouse committee team has worked for almost a whole year to bring you this project as we do every year. Unfortunately, we just can't do it this year, and all of our members are just heartbroken over this because this is a gorgeous house. It was built in 1909. We want people to see this Louis Curtis design and then to see what our designers did with these amazing spaces that we have this year. Since we are unable to open to the public, we have decided to film this virtual tour for you all. We're really excited to bring it to you this way.
The first space that welcomes you into the show house is the grand entry hall.
I feel like you really need to listen to the architecture of the home, really in any space. It's a very long hall. The original builder thought enough to have two fixtures hanging from the ceiling. The ceilings are about at 10 feet, so you do have a little leeway there. We make them, they're just kind of a band of antique brass. They're LED, so you don't see bulbs, you don't see candle sleeves or any of that. It just illuminates, and then it just has irregular, very thick crystal pieces in it. It's just such a unique fixture. It's actually right behind me in polished nickel, but I like the gold. Gold's back, so I think a lot of us were using that. And what I've done, I don't think is really earth-shattering in there. I think you would have arranged the entry the same way. Back then, you would have had a console on that large wall, flanked by chairs. You would have had some sort of settee opposite that where the kids could take off their shoes or whatever. I just made it a more elegant, updated take on that. I knew exactly where I wanted everything. That's why I'm in design, because it's just so easy. Maybe I'm lazy, but it just, you just look at everything and, I don't know, put it where it goes.
As we move from the grand entry hall, we now move into the grand living room.
The impression of the room would be you could still come, hang out, and be comfortable in a room and enjoy the art. The artist Derek von Keppel, who we worked together to do the chandelier in the room, all of that's hand-blown glass. Two of my sofas, Howard Fisher design line. It's the Kenwood sofa, and it was to be introduced at the Designer Show House, so I guess we're introducing it right now. Sofas are all bench made in the US, all hardwoods. All of my furniture is comfortable. I wanted it to be visually interesting yet clean at the same time. There's the bow tie cocktail table, which is one of mine as well. It's available in different colors. There is a piece to the right of the fireplace, which is kind of a 1970s mod piece that looks as if it has mirror behind it. It's actually polished steel. With Peregrine, who was the art consultant on the project, we were able to work together and get it to feel like a home, yet also be respectful of the art in a museum level. So even though there's a formality to the room just by the architecture and the furniture arrangement and the artwork, it should also be very comfortable.
From the elegance and the grandeur of the grand living room, we now move next door to the beach.
When I walked in the room and I saw the expansive windows, 8 windows and a glass door, and then looked outside, I thought I'd be in this room all the time. I loved the black and white floor, and I loved the dental molding up on top because nobody does things like that anymore. That rug is perfect because it doesn't shed. The colors, first of all, were so incredible and pretty much the most soothing colors you could imagine. And it just reminded me of a beach day. The couch that's in the room is excellent because it's one that you can flip. Say, for instance, you would like to have just the couch and then you want your chaise on the other side. All you do is move the ottoman and flip the cushions. I felt like the blue was kind of the prettiest sky color you could ever imagine. If you could pick a perfect sky color, that's it.
There's so much to see here on the lower level, from the grand room to the beach party, to wait until you see the Spanish room.
I liked how grand it felt because I felt like It's not the first room when you walk into the house, but as soon as I walked in the house, I could see it.
As far as exposure for us as student designers go, we really wanted to choose the Spanish room.
So our theme for the room is patron of the arts, and we knew we wanted to lean into that traditional drawing room.
We really wanted to do justice to the time period and really focus on the fact that it is over 100 years old, but we were able to bring in brand new pieces and they look as if they were meant to be there in the first place.
It still just is kind of wowing, you know. I look at pictures and I think, oh my goodness, we did that. I look at the before pictures and the after pictures and it's just like amazing.
We asked the homeowner, hey, was there something here? Because it looks like something might have been here and it's not here. And he said, yeah, I think there might have been built-ins at one point. I've been working with Open Door Homes. The co-owners are brothers, and they said, we'll absolutely help you with the show house. What do you want to do? And I kind of was like, well, what's too much to ask? Because we want a huge library built in on the entire west wall.
It was nice that we added that back in there, and it really speaks like to the time that the house was built in, and like it just makes sense that there would be a bookcase in there.
So it was a lot of collaboration. With the whole room, we just wanted to bring the true character of the room and give it a nice revamp and refresh.
It's the study zone and the party zone.
From the Spanish room into the kitchen area, we first start with the European kitchen bar. This is full of old world charm. From the kitchen bar, we run right into this copper-topped zinc island, which is perfect for wine tastings. And take a look at what's behind this. This is a bird cage full of wine.
I made a wine rack out of, so that was really fun. And I went with a bird theme this year. If you were able to walk through it, you would hear the birds chirping. 8 different bird houses throughout the kitchen. I just think they were whimsical and wonderful colors.
When we're entertaining, people spend so much time in the kitchen, and this kitchen was designed for just that.
You know, I walked in this kitchen and I could see it finished. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I don't know if that's a gift or a curse, but my husband would say it's a curse. My name is Louise Myers. I'm the owner of Pride's Kitchen and Necessities, and I would like to introduce you to my beautiful kitchen space in the Designer Showhouse. It's too bad you really can't walk in and feel the spaciousness of that kitchen and the solidness of the architecture of the house. It was a gracious, nice big space with the curved ceiling. And I love the tile floor too. It just adds a casual elegance. The chandelier is gorgeous. That is from Wilson, an elaborate, beautiful, large chandelier that really graces that table. The dinnerware on the table is gorgeous. It's made by Casafina, and it's made in Portugal. A lovely sized kitchen because you can really move around freely. Pride's has been doing the show house literally for 50 years. My parents started in 1968. We always tried to accessorize the kitchen. It's just been a wonderful marriage between Symphony and Pride's.
As you leave the kitchen with your cup of coffee, we now move into the sophisticated dining room, traditional elegance with a modern glam twist.
So we knew exactly the dining room set that we thought would be appropriate for the space. It was a little more modern. The space itself was very traditional. We took into account for the chandelier, the antique chandelier that stayed in the dining room.
We tried to incorporate the new with the old because it makes your room and your rooms have a lot more interest if you mix it up, so it doesn't become so boring.
There was a marble around the fireplace. We wanted to accent all those with artwork, and we did groupings of certain artwork that was very nice citrine finish with the gold accents in the front. The whole thing is a great opportunity for people to come and see what other designers have done in the area and being able to support the symphony.
The Kansas City Symphony Designers Showhouse is a fundraiser, and if you would like to donate, go to showhouse.org.
This was a great opportunity to actually go into a more established landscape and introduce boxwood clouding. Pretty overgrown yews that had probably been there since God was a boy. Of course, we couldn't rip those yews out. They had to stay. We went in and really thinned them out underneath, kind of lifted them a bit, and brought in large green velvet boxwoods. So a total of 30 of these guys in a cloud formation. I'm a big fan of it. It's kind of quirky and different, but it's using a very traditional plant in a unique way. I avoided certain traditional colors of pansies, like yellow is a pretty traditional color pansy. I avoided that color because I wanted to have a more romantic feel to the landscape as you know, your curb appeal as you're walking through the gate. I created a little edible garden by the pool, highlighting urban apples. A lot of the things that we planted are going to stay there because it's actually real fruit. It's edible. It's not just ornamental. It actually produces nutrition.
We had committed to do the pool and walked around the front and went, well, who's doing this? The red brick house is just so dramatic.
Well, we didn't want to pull out any more red because it is red brick. We wanted to go with something really current that people might not think of. We also painted the front door a deep glossy black. It's really black green, and put some large black lanterns. So we really wanted to accent that black.
It's just comfortable Southern charm up there, some outdoor wicker.
Then we have some beautiful black and white striped rugs that we brought in too to kind of enforce the black and white.
And then the back is a little more traditional, maybe country Frenchish.
Yeah, I would say so. We used fun citrusy colors back by the pool area. Yeah. Didn't do the blue and white like a lot of people do. We wanted to think outside the box, and we've got gorgeous outdoor rugs in both areas that kind of pull our color scheme together.
Yeah. The main thing was that we just wanted to make our mark and let people know that we're doing outdoor in a big way.
We're back inside, and we are at the top of the staircase on the second floor. One of the very first rooms that will catch your eye is actually the laundry room. You usually don't think much about a laundry room, but take a look at what they have done with this space and the washer and dryer.
Came up with this idea of these decals. They're like they're stickers really, like a vinyl sticker, right? Kelly had seen an idea like this that we kind of tweaked it to be our own. And
it was really fun because as you walk up the stairs, that is what you see as you walk up the stairs is that room. And even though the show house did not open, people kept saying that's going to be one of the favorite details of the show house. So it was really cool.
For me, laundry rooms are always one of my favorite spaces to design. I feel like you can be really bold in a laundry room. And so when I saw that that was available, I don't even think it was on the list of rooms that they were wanting to be done. But it's always one that I like doing because you don't have to stay within the parameters of regular, right? You get to go outside the box and be bold in colors. And that's always where I kind of blow it out. And so I feel like we blew it out in there too, right, Kelly?
We did.
Next to the laundry room, the designers also took this space, which is the daughter's room. Perfect in pink.
The very first part of the design, we went over and started looking through fabrics, what I had in my warehouse, what she had in hers, and just kind of digging through everything to make sure that we had like a cohesive design before we started throwing in furniture and all the extras. It was really starting with what the drapes and the bedding and pillows would look like. We wanted it to feel like this could be a baby's room, a little girl's room, or a teenager's room. It has every element of all three ages. It's like a day bed. It's got an open back center, so you can lean on either side. So my thought for that is like, I know my daughter would love sitting there with her girlfriends and playing dolls, but it's also a great spot to sit and hang out with your girlfriend and just chit chat. And it really is ageless.
And in support of the arts, the ultimate goal, which is fabulous. We've got such a great symphony and being able to, help support that also. So it was a win-win-win.
We continue our tour to the next space, which is where modern meets romantic.
We have a pair of pink velvet chairs, and those are by far my favorite. I love those, so I was really glad to use those while trying to choose furniture that we had here in the store already.
For me, our mid-century desk, which is the main piece of the rooms, it was actually the first time that we had seen it in such a way where we could show the back. Some of our pieces of furniture tend to live against the wall, and I thought that it was important that I'd be able to live in the middle of the room because it looks really pretty from the other side too.
I really wanted to capture more of the other concepts that we do. We're not just a mid-century furniture store or a very modern store. We can also make things feel really cozy and unique and romantic, however you kind of want to see it. So I just wanted to make sure we showed that off too.
Our services are top to bottom, so we can definitely do all aspects of the room, like your wall paints, wallpaper, down to the really small details, even painting our wall outlets.
Walking out from the office, you are greeted to this very bright space because there are 3 walls of windows, a very nice cozy retreat from working all day.
My goal was really to do something that you could use things in your house that you already love. That's pretty much my motto. Surround yourself with things you love. So I was trying to do that in that space. It kind of felt like a tree house up there. So it feels really like you're out into nature, and I love nature. I did not want to get rid of that fan. First of all, because the ceiling is only 8 feet high. You don't want to bring anything down that you're going to hit your head on. I found some other blades and I covered them with a printed fabric that has kind of a plant theme to it. That way I could bring some green to the ceiling. One of the original owners of the house was a painter, and the location in this space, there's north light, which is something required for painting, which I didn't know, but I found out in my research. So I built this ladder into an easel, and a friend of mine, Catherine Kirkland, loaned me some artwork for it. So I just want them to feel like it's a place you can visit, but you're also going to escape from your house.
Also next to the office is what they call the wine lounge. The designer says this is a perfect refuge to relax.
In general, with the wine lounge, you know you need a table for the tasting, you know you need a sofa or chairs for sitting. The sofa is the Westwood sofa, which is part of my line, a vintage chair that's been reupholstered in a more of a modern fabric, and there's a 1880s round table in the middle of the room underneath the chandelier. And we also have an art from Blue Gallery that's Joe Romero Garcia. It's a comfortable room, there's quality pieces in it, and then it's kind of a mix of modern and traditional.
Also on the second floor is the modern bathroom. This small space is quaint, but it presents a fresh flair with natural light. Right next to the modern bathroom is what everyone's been waiting for, the master bedroom. The luxurious dressing room, master ensuite, and French Quarter master is inspired by the home's brick exterior and beautiful iron work reminiscent of New Orleans' French Quarter.
The way that the current owners had been using the house, one room was their master bedroom and the other room was their son's bedroom, and it was connected by a bathroom. So we wanted to find a way to make that whole wing of the house essentially their little sanctuary. I think what I love is what we did with the master bedroom. It was such a big space, and it was kind of an awkward space because it was really long, and we were able to basically kind of divide that room up into its own little separate areas.
I actually love the master bedroom as well. That bed just for me kind of set the whole tone for everything. And I love how each of the rooms have their large rooms, but from the 2 chairs that are in front of the fireplace to the chair over in the corner, even when you're in that space, it feels intimate, but there's different places that you can go and sit and experience that same space.
From a cute little sitting area next to a fireplace here in the master, we then move on to the ensuite. Take a look at that tub. And the master suite just keeps on going from here in the ensuite into this space, which actually used to be their son's room. This is now the luxurious dressing room, complete with a working fireplace.
It was fun to take those 2 large spaces and pull them together so that they made sense into one cohesive space for people.
Rustic and natural wood pieces contrast gleaming glass, crystal, and mirrors to offer a modern space with hints of the history this home has seen. We'd also like to remind you that the Kansas City Symphony Designers Showhouse is a fundraiser. So if you would like to make a donation, please go to showhouse.org.
With lighting, kind of like any landscape design or exterior design, we always want to try to bring people into the front door. The front door always is our main focal point. We want to make sure that's really well lit. Usually the brighter lights are going to be towards the front of the house or the middle of the house where that front door is. And then it kind of fades off to a little bit of a dimmer light on the edges. We try to vary intensities. We want to make sure that we don't just have a big even wash and just it looks like the house is lit up in midday. Any of the pathways that are leading up to it, that's really well lit, so it's very inviting. So we're bringing people in. With this property in particular, just the way the property sits on the corner lot, it's such a large property for the area of town that it's in. So one, it's cool structure, but also it kind of shows the size of the property.
And these old houses have really pretty bad layout for their yards because they're huge mansions crammed onto little lots. We've reinvented the space as a comforting experience featuring adorable artwork of concrete and hypertufus. So no furniture, no drapes, no lights, nothing of that kind of thing. But the color of the year is classic blue. And so we, the whole thing is based on blue. And then we try to do surprising things that people won't expect, like I trimmed a bunch of trees in my yard and we painted all the branches blue. And so we're using them to create the scape. Because the other thing I have to do is use very low maintenance gardening stuff. So lots of succulents. We want them to be surprised because it's something you would not expect at a classic mansion. This is pretty funky stuff, and it's all hand built, very sculptural, and it's not your grandma's garden.
Hi, I'm Renee DeMott, editor and publisher of Kansas City Homes and Style magazine, and we are excited this year to produce the program again for the Symphony Designers Showhouse. The program book is a great keepsake piece. We have been producing this for years, and it's just amazing how many people say that they keep it, they refer back to it, they get ideas from the different rooms that they've seen in it, and it's a great piece to put together. You're going to find it in a lot of the grocery stores in the complimentary kiosk when you walk in. You can go into Hen House, Price Choppers, Hy-Vee's, and CVS pharmacies. Pick it up. So we had that already in place, so people can grab that. We also have it digitally, so you can see the whole program book on our website, on the Symphony's website, all the social channels, and since they're doing the virtual tour, they're linking the program book to that too. So there's lots of ways that people are going to be seeing the home this year. And I really encourage anyone that picks up the program book or looks at it online to look at all the little details in each room, because there's a lot of things that you can find. It might be a piece of this or a piece of that you want to bring into your own home.
As you move from the gallery up the stairs from the second floor to the third floor, take a look at this. Leopard print carpet. The designers were very excited when they found this pattern.
It's called King Cheetah. It's the King Cheetah when you come into the space.
Which was fantastic. It's going up the staircase and into the room, so I think it kind of builds excitement right from there, just with the fun carpet.
It's just a little bit of incorporating different ideas as to what the space would be, and basically we knew the floor had to be replaced. What better? And it's very on trend, those animal print carpets.
We wanted the bedroom, but you had to walk through this really ugly sitting room. And we thought, well, if we're going to do the bedroom, we got to do this room. And then it just grew from there, just to make it like a nice loft for like a kid home from college or an art student.
That was a difficult room. As you'll see, there's no window, so it's a very dark space. Plus, the whole space is an attic remodel.
For me, I like boho, and I just thought, okay, we can take this somewhere. Fun.
So this is the cheerful entry. It's the start of the color here on the third floor, which then moves us into the relaxing bedroom. Take a look at those rich blue walls and the white trim.
Another interesting room with the exposed brick wall.
Well, that bedroom has that gorgeous window with the brick, so we obviously didn't want to take away too much from that. It was like covered in plaster, and the owners had taken it all off and discovered the gorgeous brick behind it, which in a bedroom on the other side of that brick is just, we all love a good brick wall.
Are thinking, what can you do to keep with the vintage exposed brick element, but yet bring it into modern trendy times?
Our color palette's so bold that you kind of have to go bold. And we found that Juneberry rug, which was gorgeous. So we just kind of started with it and then thought the blue would be great.
Because the space is very trendy, and it's something that You know, you can use the elements and restyle when the trend might be over. You might want to change the trends.
For a time, this house was known as the Watson Boarding House. That's where many TWA personnel spent a lot of time up here.
The kitchen was a real eyesore, although it did have a good linoleum floor. First off, we decided we were going to paint the cabinets immediately because they were the old 80s melamine, like apartment cabinets.
Open shelving in the kitchen is very popular right now. So you can achieve that look by just taking your doors off and, you know, putty your holes and paint or finish over that and achieve the same look.
Kinney's Tile, who put in brand new gorgeous granite countertops and a gorgeous ceramic backsplash. And then we decided to paint the floor like a bold diagonal black and white stripe, just to kind of like pal with all the other colors in the house.
So the opposite wall to the windows here in the kitchenette, you will run smack dab into this very colorful wall full of these colorful square bricks that were initially supposed to cover the entire wall, but the designer ran out of time, but she liked how it looked so much because it basically welcomes you into the next space.
The ceilings up there, it's an attic, so all the ceilings played a huge role in the colors that we had chosen.
When you walk in that space, if you'd said, well, what is your color scheme? It's like every color works well together. Some of the colors become almost a neutral, even though they're a color, particularly a green, because it's in nature. So adding that to your space, if you want to add color but you're afraid, that might be a good color to play with.
And I just kind of wanted to bring little pops here and there of all the color palettes. So when you walk in, there's the yellow wall, and then we have a lot of white just to kind of break it up. And then we use the oceanside wall. In the window nook, we used aquarium just to kind of brighten up that space right there.
You can't believe what paint will make a difference. So, you know, that space is just the walls were painted, the window seat was painted, the furniture was either things from the Bryant Ratliff model homes that I had, or Nell Hills was very instrumental in helping us furnish that space.
There are so many wow factors here on the third floor, and so I want to take you to the next one, which is subtle, but it is the art studio.
You can literally change the entire mood in the room with art. We are on the third floor. I wanted to create kind of environment of artists just walking away from the easel for a moment. So you step in artist studio, there is the easel, there is artwork all around. I was thrilled. This was kind of a first time experience for me doing something like this. We have sculptural piece, which is actually live casting of a woman by artist Richard Long. And it's a nude. She is very, very real looking. She's very nicely draped, so it's very tasteful. She is the inspiration for the artist, you know, like being a model in a studio. Apparently there was an artist who used to live there. So I kind of channeled the idea that maybe she had a studio there on a third floor with very wonderful light and his kind of intimate setting. And it would be a place that you would want to have a refuge.
Okay, again, this floor is all about color, and take a look at this contrast between the black and white in the walls. This is the art of the Symphony Room, inspired by 6 magnificent and moving pieces of music from this year's Kansas City Symphony Classical Music Season program. Local middle and high school students interpreted and captured the passion of the music in amazing works of visual art. Poised against caviar black and high reflective white coloring, these expressions of movement are displayed much as musical notes are displayed upon a page of a sheet of music.
We hope you've enjoyed this tour of the 51st Symphony Designers Showhouse and hope that it has inspired you in your own home decorating. We hope that you're encouraged to reach out to some of our designers, our sponsors, Sherwin-Williams and Wilson Lighting, to upgrade your own homes. And we hope that this satisfies your interest in the project, and we look forward to bringing you another fantastic Symphony Designers Showhouse next spring.
Thank you for joining us for the first virtual tour of the 51st Kansas City Symphony Designers Showhouse. This would not be possible without the generous donations of viewers like you. So if you'd like to donate, please go to showhouse.org.